action figure fans, it's the one and only Optibottom coming at you with another video review. If you're an old subscriber, thanks for coming back. If you're a new one, welcome. Before you leave, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and bell notification so that you get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new review. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the new Hot Toys VGM31 of the Advanced Suit Spider-Man from the Spider-Man video game, which I believe is a PlayStation 4 exclusive. Now, I say that because I don't have a PlayStation 4 and I've never actually played this game, but the look for this suit, I absolutely love. For the package, you got an absolutely gorgeous image of him in that suit, really displaying how cool it actually looks. And then through the rest of the package, you can see that you got these different images, what look to be from the game itself. Come around to the other side, you have a very cool Spider-Man logo, which is what he has on the front of his chest there. Come around to the back of the package, you got the various warnings and contact information and all that kind of stuff for Hot Toys. Now, unlike a lot of Hot Toy figures, it is not a slip sleeve sort of package. It has this little magnetic clasp here on the side that allows you to open it up. You see on the inside you get this little extra accessory, which is his Spidey sense. And you got the cast and crew responsible for making the figure, as well as a nice open window that fully showcases the figure as well as all of his accessories. But for the packaging on this, that's about it. Very simple, but really very, very nice. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Advanced Suit Spider-Man from the Spider-Man video game opened up and out of his packaging. And starting off first, as always, he does come with his instruction sheet, which I do strongly recommend you go through and check out. You can see how to swap out his eyes, equip his different web pieces and web shooters, but more importantly, you see the range of motion that the figure has. One of the biggest things that have kind of plagued Spider-Man figures for a long time is kind of the restrictions that the suit give. While the articulation is still there, a lot of these Spider-Man suits really use a rubbery type of material for the suit itself, and overdoing things could potentially damage the suit. As it is, even when you just move the arms, you kind of get a warping effect and a stretching out sort of appearance of the suit. Again, that's been a problem that almost every Spider-Man figure has had. So it's important to go through and know what you're able to do. The instructions also show you kind of which hands to use for holding the different weapons, what you can do with the spider drone, and then obviously how to attach the spider sense. Some stuff is fairly simple, but as I said, still worth going through. Now, starting off first with his accessories, this guy comes with a ton, and that is absolutely wonderful. In addition to the two semi-relaxed hands that he has, although they are in a dynamic sort of gesturing sort of look, he does come with a pair of fisted hands. As you can see, tremendous amount of detail on here. I'll zoom in on some open ones later on so you can see the full kind of appearance of them, but you do have that red with the black kind of lines going through the fingers, and then you see the back section here has this gorgeous white, which is very reminiscent of carbon fiber. I think that's actually what they described the white elements of the suit being, carbon fiber for the enhanced strength. You also do get a pair of hands that are designed in that kind of sticking to the wall sort of pose, which is fantastic, but not overly spectacular. We've gotten ones like that before. You also do have a pair of web slinging fingers with the two middle ones pulled down, and then the rest of the hand still has that tremendous amount of detail. Taking a look at some other ones here, you have a right hand that is open that works well with holding like the little plushie and things like that. A little bit wider of an opening grip, and then you have this one which can be used with the web, but also can be used like with his phone. Then you do get another one which also you can kind of use it with holding one of his weapons, and then you get another one here, kind of like a peace sort of gesturing. But coming in to take a closer look, I want to use this one. I think the detail on here is fantastic. Hopefully you're going to be able to see that. I want to get that nice and close so where you can, it's so hard to see. I don't know, hopefully it'll focus in, but you can kind of see it right there. The texturing detail on the white is absolutely wonderful. Like I said, done to sort of replicate carbon fiber. It's meant to add some added strength to certain areas, which makes sense because you have it like on the knuckle, so when he punches you, there's some added protection there. But I love that little sculpted detail, and then it's used throughout the rest of the suit. Come around to the other side, and you can see you have a little bit of a padding on the inside as well, and then the little button which he would push to release his web sling. So again, tremendous amount of detail on just the hands. He also does come with some extra eyepieces that you can swap out. The ones that I have on him right now are the wide open ones. If I get this to kind of focus there we go. You can see these are a little bit more squinted, but much like a lot of Spider-Man figures in the past, it's just held on by magnets. Can swap those out fairly easily. Again, taking a look, I gotta try and get in nice and close to this just so you can kind of see it. Hopefully, let's see, there we go. Again, you can see in the inside, hopefully you can see that you can actually make that out a little bit. You can see the different texture on the inside there, giving it an amazing just overall texture to the white section of the eyes. That's so wicked awesome. That detail is fantastic. And then you also do get a pair that are a little bit more squinted than the other ones. So, you know, that is what it is. Let me get these out of the way because we already looked at those. Oh, and I forgot to say, you also do get a pair of extra wrist pegs in case anything happens. This little bit here decided to roll away, so I'm just going to pull this one out. Now, a lot of these, I don't know what they are because, like I said, I didn't play the game. I'm assuming these are some kind of grenade or maybe like a web bomb or something. I'm not too sure, but great detail in these. Coming in to take a closer look at that, you can see you got some nice blue in there, some white and silver spread throughout the majority of the body, which is made up in this red color. Tremendous detail, tremendous paint applications on both of these. But again, now very small, and they do kind of remind me of like grenades that you could probably just use like a hand like this to hold them. Or maybe even like one of the other ones like this one, something like that you could use. I guess it doesn't really matter, but you can do whatever you want. Comes with this. I want to say that this is some kind of a weapon. What it does, though, I don't know. Again, if you play the video game, it probably makes a lot more sense, and I apologize for not having that kind of information, but still real nice paint detail on there. You can see a little bit of orange there on the top. Bottom section here, you can see the nice sculpted in detail. The back section, I think it's the back section, has a little kind of slidey gimmick right there, and then what almost looks like a speaker. Again, I don't know, I'm sorry, but tiny, lot of detail, still looks really cool. It comes with a phone that very much looks like an iPhone of sorts. You can see it got the little sit right there. I kind of wish that there was something on like the front of it here, but you can see a nice reflective surface. Come around to the back, you can see where the little camera slots are. He can hold this pretty decently. Like I said, this hand here is apparently meant for the web sling, but you can have him hold that really easily. I guess you could probably use that little device here too, so if it focuses, you can use that hand for that. All sorts of different options. He has a couple different web slingers here. I believe these are ones that would attach to the webs itself. I'm trying to see if there's like little holes in there. Yeah, it looks like there's little holes on the inside here, but they're different. As you can see, you get two of these that both have a different look. Maybe different types of webs that are shot out of this. He does have a pair that are on him already. You can kind of see that right there. If it again focuses, you can see that right there. They all look a little bit different, so I'm guessing maybe, like I said, different types of webs that are shot, but it's cool that you have that as an option to change that up. You also have these little gizmos. Now, what I don't understand about these are actually magnetic. You can kind of actually see it's repulsing. Again, camera focus, please. But I don't know why they are magnetic. but they are little magnets there on the bottom. Top section, you can see some nice silver paint detail on this black area. This section right here has this really cool kind of pattern with some silver, red, blue, all that stuff. Looking very sharp, very nice. Again, I don't know why it's magnetic though. Does it stick on? No, it doesn't stick anywhere. I don't know. You get these little pieces. Again, I feel so bad for sitting there saying that I don't know what any of this stuff is, and I apologize because you guys are probably going to complain and be like, do some research before you do a review, Paul. I'm sorry, but these little pieces look really cool. They have the Spiderman logo with his eyes. You got a nice blue paint on the inside there. I'm guessing that that's accurate looking. I kind of wish it was a white paint like the rest of his eyes, but whatever. Bottom section has a nice silver kind of wash on there with some sculpted detail. That's cool. You also do get this little, what I'm assuming is a little plush or some kind of a stuffed animal or something, a Spider-Man. This is freaking adorable. No articulation or anything. Or does his arms move? Oh no, they just kind of wiggle. So be careful with that. But still real, I'm dropping it. Really nice detail sculpted into it. And really nice paint actually on there as well. It's very small, so they got a lot of real good paint detail in there. You got the little feet pads and everything. Come around to the back, you see a little spider logo. And I mean, even the fact that they got the little spider legs painted is quite impressive. Looks like the regular suit though that he is based off of, so that's cool. Dig that. He also does come with this spider drone that this is just fun. I wonder if there's like magnets on. Yeah, no magnets. I don't know. The top section here you can see all has this very nice reflective metallic red paint, which looks great. Gorgeous detail for the eyes. The legs here you can see kind of look like springs, but they don't articulate forward and back. They do rotate, so you can move all of these around. But you can't move them up and down or anything. I kind of wish they just used regular springs for that. That would have been cool. But again, nice red paint that has a very metallic look throughout it. Overall, again, a tremendous amount of detail on here. I would imagine that all of these accessories have a specific purpose, and if you play the game, you probably know it a lot more than me. So again, I do apologize for not being able to give you more information on them, but I do believe that in general they have some kind of purpose in the game. So I would imagine if you're a fan of the game, these are good little additional accessories to have. He does come with web slings. I want to say that we've gotten these multiple times. I don't think anything on this is different. You do get this section here that is probably hard to see because it's white, or well, mostly clear. You can peg this in here. Let me see if it's what. I don't know if it matters what side. I would imagine it doesn't really matter what side, but oh wait, there we go. So you can do something like that with it if you're so inclined. This is something that we've gotten before, but really nice, just kind of web look. It is this white plastic, great sculpted detail throughout the entire thing. You get two of these longer ones, and then you get a couple little short ones with a little kind of blob section on one end, and then you get this one, which is more designed to look like he's kind of holding it. He like shoots it out and then holds onto it, and then that maybe you would put that on there or something like that. So reused basically, but still fun nonetheless. All Spider-Man figures kind of have to have that. He also does come with this Spidey sense thing. I don't know, I don't feel like I'm going to use this for anything. But opening this up, taking this out, what is that? Oh, that's like a little, that's like impossible. That you guys are not going to be able to see that, but it kind of looks like a spider web on there. You're not going to be able to see that at all. So that's one piece, and then this is the, I guess the Peter Tingle. Oh, I loved it when Aunt May said that. You can see this little piece just comes down, and then you put this, there's a film over it. You'll just put this behind his head like that, which does look cool. Kind of is weird because it looks like it's just protruding from the back of his head, to be honest, instead of like off of the side. These aren't anything that I'm going to use most of the time. I just take these and leave these in the packaging, put them back in the box. So you do get those as extra accessories. I'm just going to set that off to the side. I wish I could show you guys this. There's almost no way you're going to be able to really see that unless I peel it off a little. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to peel that off, but yeah, maybe, I don't know. You're not going to be able to see it, but whatever. You also do get the display stand. You got that nice Spider-Man logo with the chest section right there. It is a smaller dynamic stand, which is nice. Not one of the huge ones or anything, and you can see that it has a fairly small kind of base to take up a smaller footprint. You got the adjustable section right here that goes around the waist. You got the little foam pieces on the inside, which is nice because that suit will retain dents, so be careful with that. Moving him onto the side. Finally, accessory wise, you do get this nice backdrop, kind of looking like it's him swinging through a city area. You can see traffic and everything, some buildings. This one's pretty nice. Again, I wish that they were done a little bit bigger to fit like in a detolf. As it is, this is a little bit too small for that. It'll still look nice. I just probably won't use it because it just doesn't fit in a detolf. But for his accessories, that's it. He comes with a ton, and it's really very impressive. As I said, unfortunately, I don't know a lot about the accessories, but I really do appreciate that he comes with them. And I'm sure fans of the video game will appreciate that as well. Now, coming in to take a closer look at the figure, this is a tremendous looking suit. And while the design for this was completely created by the video game people, they did a great job of homaging the original look and still modernizing it. As you can see, the head sculpt here is basically the classic Spider-Man look. I like how the actual mask here is nicely textured. You can see some like ridges throughout the entire thing. And then the black section actually has a deeper cut throughout it. You can kind of make it out there through the entire thing. It has that, which does look really very, very cool. Now for the eyes, what you basically want to do is kind of push here, releasing that, and then you can see you got the magnet section on the inside, and then you just bring in a new one, put that there, and now he's kind of squinting at you. And basically that's what you need to do with all of them, and it just, like I said, magnetically attaches. Taking a look at the body itself, one thing that is really very nice is you can see the musculature underneath the suit. Like, for example, the striations here in his shoulder. I mean, that is phenomenal. Even when you look at kind of like the musculature, like around the neck area, the trapezius muscles up here look really very good. You look at the torso area, the pecs look amazing, the abs look really good, very nicely defined. You look at the arms, they're not quite as big, which is fine because he should be a fairly slender guy. And obviously when you bend the arms, it's not going to make the bicep bulge. So it makes sense that the way that it's going to look. When you take a look here, and this is what I wanted to show as well, you can see the detail inside the spider logo. You can kind of see that carbon fiber sort of texturing, which again looks absolutely amazing. The rest of the suit has that real nice kind of ridge effect throughout the entire thing. And then again, like I said, all this white section here is meant to be like that carbon fiber just for added strength purposes. All the different colors apparently are. Like the blue area is meant for enhancing his kind of flexibility and such. And then again, you can see like the white here has that texture, which does have that carbon fiber sort of look. The only part about this suit that is, I don't really want to say ugly, but unnecessary, kind of evil, is this suit is basically one piece. You can see this section here of the side section has a nice, very clean seam. You come around to the other side though, and you can see the stitching that it's unfortunately necessary because it's all one piece that they put around the body and then they have to seal it off. And the stitching just isn't as clean as obviously that. It's not too terribly bad. I mean, when you have the arms done like that, I mean, it kind of hides it. But that is a little bit kind of unfortunate that it has to happen, but it is there. Again, the coloring is phenomenal. You got that blue, white, red, all looks really good. You come down to these arms, and you can see that same amount of detail carries on. You come down to the hands with those kind of open sort of palms. The web shooters right on the inside here look really nice. The leg area, again, you can see the musculature in his thighs, or even like down here, you can really see the sculpted detail of the leg muscle. I mean, that is really quite impressive. Everything on it looks really good. Maybe some more definition in the calf would look a little bit, because the calf comes down, and then there's usually kind of on the underside here, like a little upward kind of thing, giving almost like a little butt looking shape. That's kind of how like calves kind of look. And then when you look at the feet, gorgeous sneakers on here. You can see great detail on the bottom. You can see that they kind of come up here, kind of protecting his Achilles. And then again, you got those really cool kind of design elements with like little wing sort of things there. But overall, I mean, this is a gorgeous looking suit. Now, it doesn't come with any other head sculpt or anything. But one thing that I just thought this was kind of cool. You can pop this off, this piece here being a peg. Now, if you had a Tom Holland sculpt, for example, this is mine from the Iron Spider. The only real difference between this one and the one that came out with the Homecoming version is that this one has like a magnetic attachment to it, so you can just pop it on that body, but this also is a clean look. You can take this, and this is tough. There, come on, pop you out. There we go. I can remove that and sit that there. It doesn't peg in, unfortunately, and it doesn't go down as low as I would want. People that complained about like the neck, I posted the pictures on there. I don't think it really looks all that bad. In hand, it looks pretty decent. Pictures kind of look weird on it, but just like this, I think it looks pretty good. He definitely has a bigger neck area, but honestly, I mean, it's not. Oh, that gets really squat there. So maybe that's why it kind of looks a little bit weird. If I could remove that intersection, I could probably get it to sit down a little bit lower, which would look a little bit better. But I like that. I think that looks terrific. I even went on Twitter and I tagged Tom Holland and said, it's like, you need to wear this suit in the next Spider-Man movie. I think it would look amazing. Of course, he didn't reply to it, but, you know, whatever. You guys should go on and get him to, like, acknowledge that tweet or whatever. And then, or like, if you like it a whole bunch, maybe you would get him to notice it, and then just gonna pop that. Well, I'll pop that back in there. But it's definitely something that you can do if you really wanted to. Personal preference, like I said, if you wanted to give Tom this sort of body in suit. So get that on there. There we go. So it's an option for you if you don't want to have him doing the whole Spider-Man thing, but, you know, it's your toy. Do what you want. First articulation, he's actually a very well articulated figure. Where you do run into some issues would be the suit itself. First, the head, as you can see, is on two ball joints. So you got a lower section and then you got an upper one. So you can get a pretty good range of motion with it. Left, right, side, side. It can twist, all that fun stuff. He does have a lower neck joint that you can kind of bend down. Again, getting him to look way far down. Doesn't really go back too far. That's not too bad, but you can get kind of a flying spider pose. The shoulders go out to about 90 degrees. Again, you don't want to overdo too much. That's about the best you're going to get, but you can see that the suit will cause bunching. That's definitely unfortunate, but it is normal with a Spider-Man figure. It can move forward and back, but again, the suit does stretch. It's difficult to pull off some of those poses because of the kind of bunching that happens around there. So that's definitely unfortunate. He does rotate at the upper part of the bicep, has 2 bends here at the elbow. You can get it to about there. It says about 120 degrees. I really wouldn't push too much. Again, when you do get the wrinkling of sorts. You can see that when you straighten it out, over time, it will kind of stretch back to the position, and if you like warm it up a little bit, you know, kind of rub it, you can get it flat again. So again, kind of going like that, you can get it looking better. It's definitely unfortunate. I don't know how they could do it without using a suit like this. It is kind of what it is. He does have a ab crunch right here, side to side, rotates a little bit. Again, the suit does restrict a little bit of that motion, and you do want to be careful. You don't want to overdo it. You come down to the legs. Now, they say that you can get this about 90 degrees. I guess you can. I mean, that's pretty close. I don't want to overdo it, but again, you do get the bunching like right there. So because you stretch that, when you pull it back, this side here looks pretty decent. This one here, you kind of have to rub his butt to kind of get that heat element in place to kind of make it not look as bad. So you do have to play with a little bit. That it just makes me nervous over time, overdoing it. So again, some people don't care. They're going to put it in a pose. They're going to leave it like that. It is unfortunate that you get a figure that is super flexible, and you want to pull off some crazy dynamic poses with them, and you're kind of limited because of the suit material possibly being damaged over time. He can bend at about, so you got that. You do have a rotation at the upper part of the thigh. He does have a double joint here for the knee. You come down to the ankles itself, and those are underneath the suit as well. You can kind of move that side to side, not a ton, but you do get a little bit of wiggle and waggle, and moves forward and back, and then the toes are also articulated, which is really nice. So all the articulation is there. Posing options will be limited though. But honestly, for me, I do really kind of think that you can pull off a very dynamic pose just like that with him standing there. I mean, I think that he looks really heroic, kind of just hanging out. Honestly, I mean, it's personal preference. You're going to be able to do whatever you want with it because it's going to be your figure, obviously. But it does really stink that you can't create a lot of cool poses with this. The one that I have seen a lot of people pull off some amazing poses, and the material is very flexible and doesn't look like it gets damaged because it's a cloth material, is the Scarlet Spider. I don't really have an interest in that. I never really liked the look of it, so I didn't pick it up or anything. I also think it was a Sideshow exclusive, and I didn't get in on that. But I just like this look a whole lot better. The only suit that I think that I would like a lot more would be the 2099 look. This is definitely a more futuristic, more modern look for him, and I do think it looks really cool. Where I'm gonna put it in my collection, I honestly don't know yet, because I am mostly like a movie guy, not so much a video game guy, and while I love the look of it, I don't know necessarily where it's gonna fit in my collection. But it is a terrific looking figure. Ultimately, an absolute amazing release by Hot Toys. First of all, the design for the video game was amazing looking, and they recreated the look almost flawlessly. The only real issue that I would say would probably come in that stitching. It's a necessary evil, as I talked about, but obviously in kind of copying the look of a video game, that shouldn't be there, but like I said, I understand why it is. When you talk about the suit, the biggest issue is the material. Now, everybody talks about how it does stretch and then you get bunching and all that kind of stuff, but when you put it in a more neutral or museum pose, over time, it does go back to its original shape. And I have noticed that. That's definitely something that is the case. However, if I left it in this pose for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, whatever, would it go back properly? And to be honest, I don't think it will. My amazing Spider-Man figure that I had, it was in a pose, not really like this, but it was in a pose that kind of stretched out some of the areas, and it never really fully went back to its proper shape. So realistically, only time will tell. But for me, it is unfortunate because Spider-Man is a very expressive character when you're talking about his poses. He's very flexible and is easily recognized as being in a really cool sort of look. And you can't really replicate that for any length of time. Now, maybe you as a collector change your pose often, and if that's the case, then you're probably fine. Me, I typically don't really change my pose as much. All of his articulation is in there, and you can pretty much pull off what you need. But again, the stress on the suit is where you get some of those concerns. The suit, though, does look amazing. There are a lot of elements about this that I really do like. I love the fact that they homage the classic look with the red and the blue. The white logo, even, I think, looks amazing. It does give me that 2099 Spider-Man vibe, which for me is probably one of my all-time favorite looks for Spider-Man. So fingers crossed that Hot Toys does something like that in the future. As it is, though, this is probably one that if you're a Spider-Man fan or the video game fan, this is one that you will want to have in your collection. What you get in terms of accessories is outstanding. The sheer number of them blows me away. The look for the costume, really all of it added together, is a terrific value. And this is on the more affordable end of a Hot Toy figure release. At only $250, that's pretty good by comparison to a lot of stuff that we've gotten recently. When you look at everything that you get from the backdrop, the dynamic stand, all the accessories, $250 is a pretty good value. So all that being said, again, if you are a Spider-Man fan in general or a fan of the Spider-Man game, either way, this is a figure that I would absolutely recommend. So all that being said, if this is a piece that you would like to add to your collection, he is available right now in limited quantities at Big Bad Toy Store. So for that, I'll put a link down in the video description where you can go to BBTS and you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the wide range of Hot Toy figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. Remember, if you like this video, I would really appreciate it, guys, if you would do one small thing for me, and that is to simply hit that thumbs up button. That little tiny gesture really does go a long way towards helping me out, and I would really appreciate it. And a huge thank you if you made it all the way to the end of this review. Another way that you can really help support my channel is making sure that you watch the video all the way through. And if you did that, thank you. Also, I want to send a huge shout out to all of my patrons who, through their continued support, now more than ever help to make reviews like this possible. And if you'd like information on how you can help support my channel by becoming a patron, feel free to check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/optibotimus. And finally, remember, grow wise, grow strong, but never grow up. Thank you for watching and taking the time to be a kid.